My dining room was full, candles glowing, sweet potato pie cooling on the counter, the smell of rosemary and roasted turkey thick in the air. I'd cooked for 14 hours straight. Peeling yams, brining the bird, rolling out my late mother's cornbread recipe from 1952. Then my daughter-in-law Talia laughed and said to her friend, "Oh, don't offer Mama Ruth wine. She's just the help." The room went quiet. My son Marcus looked down at his plate, said nothing. I kept serving the collard greens, smiled like I always do. But inside, a switch flipped. Because that day I realized she didn't see me as family. She saw me as staff, and staff don't own houses. But I do, the house I built alone. This house, 1427 Magnolia Lane, wasn't a gift. It was a testament. I bought it in 1998 with money. I saved working as a home health aide. Then $200 a month. No husband, no safety net. Just me and Marcus, then 12, sleeping on a pull-out couch while I scrubbed floors for rich women who called me honey, but never remembered my name. I paid off the mortgage by 2012. Put Marcus through college. Never asked for a dime back. When he married Talia, a corporate lawyer who wore $800 heels to our church picnic, I welcomed her with open arms. Even let them move in temporarily after their apartment flooded. That was 3 years ago. They never left, and slowly my home became theirs. Talia redecorated my living room without asking. Threw out my handmade quilts, so outdated. Complained I hovered when I cooked. But I stayed quiet. Because Marcus looked happy. I told myself, this is what mothers do. We shrink so our children can grow. I was wrong. The betrayal, just the help. Thanksgiving was the final straw. Talia invited 8 of her girlfriends, all in designer outfits, sipping champagne before dinner. I served in my Sunday best, navy dress, pearls, hair pinned neat. One guest asked, "Oh, are you Marcus's mom?" Before I could answer, Talia waved a hand. "Oh, that's Mama Ruth. She lives here and helps out. Like, part of the furniture?" She laughed. "Honestly, we'd be lost without our little helper." The women tittered. Marcus chewed his turkey. Said nothing. I finished serving. Excused myself to the kitchen. Stared at my hands, wrinkled, strong, scarred from decades of work. And I made a decision. No more shrinking. That night I dug out my deed. Reviewed my lease agreement. Yes, I'd had them sign one after year 2, just in case. Called my lawyer. "Mr. Patel," I said, "it's time to enforce the contract. The revenge, eviction with dignity." 2 weeks later, I served Talia and Marcus with a 30-day notice to vacate. Talia stormed into my room, eyes blazing. "You can't do this. We've lived here for 3 years." "I own this house," I said calmly. "You're tenants. The lease allows me to terminate with 30 days' notice. But Marcus is your son. And you," I said, called me the help at my own table. She turned to Marcus. "Tell her to stop." He looked at me, really looked, and whispered, "She's right, Talia." That broke her. She cried, bargained, offered to apologize properly. I didn't flinch. On day 31, I changed the locks, donated their abandoned furniture to a shelter for domestic violence survivors. And on Christmas Eve, I hosted a dinner for elderly neighbors, women like me, who know what it means to build a home from nothing. We ate peach cobbler, sang old hymns, and no one called me the help. Final twist and empowerment. Marcus moved into a studio apartment. He comes every Sunday now, not as a tenant, but as my son. We talk, really talk. He apologized for staying silent. Said he was afraid of Talia's temper. I forgave him. But I also taught him. A real man protects his mother's dignity, even from his wife. As for Talia, she posted on Instagram, "So grateful to be out of that toxic house." I screenshotted it, framed it next to my deed. Label, proof that entitlement has consequences. Today, my house is quiet, peaceful, mine. And every time I cook collard greens, I smile, because now I serve only those who see me, not as the help, but as Mama Ruth, the woman who built a home and knew when to defend it. So if someone ever reduces you to a role, don't argue. Remind them who owns the house.